The flashing red and blue lights painted the quiet street, but what happened next was anything but ordinary. A routine stop turned into a moment no one could ever forget. A young black girl sat trembling on the curb, tears in her eyes, as a police officer smirked, mocking her words. "Special Forces? Your mom? Don't make me laugh," he chuckled, arrogance dripping from every syllable. But then, heavy boots struck the pavement. A figure emerged from the shadows, and the entire street fell silent. It was supposed to be an ordinary Friday night. 12-year-old Amara Johnson was waiting quietly in her mother's car outside a corner store. The air was still, the city unusually calm. She tapped her fingers nervously against the seat, waiting for her mom to come back with groceries. But peace rarely lasts long. A police cruiser screeched to a stop across the narrow street. Two officers stepped out, the first one swaggering with a smirk that instantly made Amara shrink. His name was Sergeant Miller, a man known for his sharp tongue and his even sharper arrogance. He strode to the car, tapping the window with unnecessary force. "Step out," he ordered. Amara hesitated but obeyed, sliding from the car with her heart pounding. "Where's your mother?" Miller demanded. "She's inside the store, sir," Amara whispered. Miller narrowed his eyes, scanning the girl. "Uh-huh. And what's she doing? Leaving you out here while she, what, steals? Cheats the system? Kids like you don't sit in cars like this unless something's wrong." Amara's lips trembled. Fear gripped her chest. But then, with a shaky breath, she found the courage to speak. "My mom's in the Special Forces. She's serving this country. She's a soldier." The mockery for a moment silence hung in the air, and then Miller burst into laughter. "Special Forces?" he scoffed, doubling over. "That's rich. Your mom? No chance. Do you even know what Special Forces means, kid? Don't make up fairy tales to impress me." The second officer shifted uneasily, glancing at the ground. But Miller kept going, his voice dripping with mockery. "Special Forces," he repeated, sneering. "What's next? She's the president? Maybe a superhero, too?" Amara clenched her fists. Her eyes burned, but she refused to back down. "She is in the Special Forces," she whispered, her voice small but unbreakable. Miller leaned closer, lowering his voice to a cruel whisper. "Listen, girl. People like you don't grow up with heroes. Don't lie to me." Those words cut deeper than any blade. Amara's shoulders slumped, but in her chest a spark of defiance still flickered. Meanwhile, inside the store, Naomi Johnson, Amara's mother, was scanning the aisles. She wore plain clothes, a hoodie over tactical pants, blending in like any other customer. But Naomi was no ordinary woman. After years of combat missions, she had developed instincts sharper than steel. She didn't need to see trouble to feel it. It crawled into her bones before it struck, and now she felt it. Her eyes flicked toward the glass doors, catching the flicker of blue and red lights outside. Something was wrong. Her daughter's voice carried faintly through the night air. "My mom's in Special Forces. She protects this country." Naomi froze mid-step. Hearing those words lit fire in her chest, pride for her daughter's courage, and fury that someone dared to laugh at it. She dropped the basket of groceries, and then she walked. Not rushed, not stumbled, walked. Her boots struck the floor, like the beat of a war drum. The store doors slid open. Out of the shadows, Naomi emerged. She wasn't tall, but her presence filled the street. The hoodie hung loose, but now unzipped, revealing the insignia on her combat shirt. Her posture was unshakable. Her steps were steady, controlled, deliberate. Amara's tear-streaked face lit with sudden hope. Miller turned. His grin faltered. Naomi's voice sliced through the night. "Is there a problem, officer?" Miller straightened, trying to recover his arrogance. "Ma'am, I was just making sure your daughter wasn't in trouble." Naomi's eyes locked, onto his, cold, calm, deadly. She scanned the scene. Amara trembling, Miller standing too close, mockery still hanging in the air like smoke. In seconds, she knew exactly what had happened. "You accused my daughter of lying," Naomi said, her tone like steel. "You mocked her? Is that what you do with children? Tear them down for speaking the truth?" Miller stammered. I was just—" Naomi took one step closer, pulling something from her back pocket. She held it up inches from his face. Her military ID gleamed under the harsh streetlight. "Captain Naomi Johnson, United States Army Special Forces. I've led 3 tours overseas. I've carried men out of fire while bullets rained down. I've stared death in the eyes and walked away. And while I was doing that, my daughter was here, believing in me, believing in this country, and tonight, you dared to laugh at her for it." The street fell silent. Even the hum of the police cruiser seemed to vanish. Naomi didn't shout. She didn't need to. Her silence pressed heavier than any scream. The second officer shifted awkwardly, clearly shaken, while Miller's smirk collapsed into a nervous swallow. Naomi stepped even closer, lowering her voice so every word landed, like a hammer. "You think that badge makes you untouchable? Try laughing at me now." Miller's face went pale. His lips parted, but no words came out. The only sound was his shallow breathing. Naomi's eyes never wavered. "You don't mock children who tell the truth. You protect them. If you can't do that, put down the badge, because you're not worthy of it." For the first time, Miller had no comeback. His arrogance shattered under the weight of her authority. The second officer finally spoke, his voice low. "Captain, I'm sorry, on behalf of the department. This shouldn't have happened." Naomi's gaze stayed locked on Miller, but she didn't speak again. She didn't need to. The silence was punishment enough. Instead, she turned, kneeling in front of Amara. Her voice softened, melting from steel to warmth. "You never have to doubt yourself, Amara. You never have to fear the truth, because truth doesn't break. It breaks everything else." Amara threw her arms around her mother, tears streaming down her cheeks. For the first time that night, she felt safe. The police cruiser's lights faded into the distance, but the memory of that night never did. On that quiet street, a lesson was burned into everyone who witnessed it. Arrogance can be loud. Mockery can be cruel. But truth? Truth marches in with boots on the pavement and silences everything in its path. That night, the truth walked out of a store in the form of a soldier, a protector, a mother, a warrior, and a daughter who would never again let anyone laugh at her words.